For years, humanity has looked at the moon as a constant, a cold, familiar companion circling our world. But that certainty shattered when one of the world's most respected physicists stood on stage, trembling, and showed the world something he wasn't supposed to show. Dr. Kato Miura wasn't known for drama. A theoretical physicist celebrated for his calm explanations of quantum mechanics, he was always the voice of reason. But this time, his voice broke. His eyes lingered too long on the image behind him, a heat map of the lunar interior, and when he finally spoke, the audience fell silent. What began as a simple update on new lunar data turned into a confession that shook science to its core. According to Dr. Miura, newly developed quantum resonance scanners had revealed something impossible. Beneath the moon's dusty crust were massive hollow regions, some stretching for hundreds of kilometers, arranged in perfect symmetry. These weren't ancient lava tubes or caverns carved by erosion. They were geometric, uniform, intentional. Even more disturbing, thermal sensors picked up faint but rhythmic heat pulses inside those chambers. They were too regular, too controlled to be geological. Something beneath the moon wasn't just structured. It was active. The data suggested that the moon's interior wasn't a simple sphere of rock. It was compartmentalized, layered, and reinforced. Gravitational readings taken from multiple observatories showed a precise lattice running through its entire body, connecting polar and equatorial regions like an invisible skeleton. The pattern matched no natural formation ever observed. If this lattice still functions, it could mean the moon itself is maintaining more than its orbit, perhaps even stabilizing Earth's rotation, tides, or magnetic field. That idea led to an unthinkable conclusion. The moon might not be a coincidence of nature. It might be a construct, a regulator designed for a purpose we don't yet understand. As Dr. Miura spoke, he began drawing connections between modern science and ancient myth. Civilizations from Sumeria to Mesoamerica all described a time before the moon, and legends of luminous visitors descending from the sky. For centuries we dismissed these as stories. But when those myths are mapped against this new data, they begin to sound more like memory, fragmented records of a cosmic event humanity witnessed long ago. Then came the seismic evidence. In 1969, during early lunar missions, an impact experiment caused the moon to ring like a bell. Back then, scientists joked about it. But new models using updated lunar density data revealed that such resonance is only possible in a hollow or reinforced structure. Recent AI simulations confirmed that no known natural body could vibrate that way for that long. Whatever the moon is made of, it's not solid rock. Dr. Miura's next slide revealed something even stranger: reflective materials buried deep below the surface that deflect radar in deliberate, geometric patterns. The metals aren't in any terrestrial database. They behave like engineered alloys, resilient, heat-resistant, and arranged in perfect grids. When these virtual samples were stress-tested in computer models, they behaved like structural panels, as if the moon were a shell built to endure deep time. And then, he played the recordings. Low-frequency radio bursts coming from the moon's far side, faint, repeating, and eerily rhythmic. Some of these pulses spike whenever satellites pass behind the moon, as if responding to our presence. When translated into mathematical sequences, they echo digital logic, binary intervals, recursive primes, almost like a machine language repeating a diagnostic code. Was it a forgotten beacon? A listening post? A dormant observer that still wakes at intervals? No one could say. The strangest mystery of all lies in its orbit. The moon's rotation is locked so precisely that we always see the same face, and during total eclipses, it fits the sun's disk perfectly. Statistically, that alignment should be nearly impossible. Yet it persists, unchanged, for eons. Models of lunar evolution can't fully explain how such perfection formed naturally. Some scientists now wonder if this was intentional, an engineered orbit designed for observation or even communication. Something in Dr. Mura's final slides felt different. He wasn't just sharing data anymore, he was confessing. He paused, his hands trembling slightly as the projection behind him changed to a grainy waveform, a remnant of an Apollo-era transmission, distorted, incomplete, and yet, alive. These, he said softly, are all that remain. What he revealed next silenced every person in the room. Entire archives of Apollo recordings, telemetry logs, seismic readings, and direct voice transmissions had been quietly erased, overwritten, or sealed. The official explanation was data consolidation, but the timing, the precision of what was lost, felt deliberate. Among the fragments that survived, researchers discovered faint background frequencies, rhythmic tones buried deep within the noise. At first, they seemed random. But when filtered and amplified, they formed harmonics, structured layers, like an encoded signal hidden within the static. They pulsed in intervals that matched the moon's orbit. And then came the most unsettling discovery. Embedded in one of the surviving seismic channels from Apollo 17 was a recurring mechanical echo, something striking the lunar interior in a measured, patterned rhythm. It wasn't random interference. It was movement. Former mission technicians, now retired, began to speak out, quietly, cautiously. Some claimed astronauts had described lights moving beneath the surface, as if reflections were dancing from within. Others recalled unexplained interruptions in communication, moments when their equipment picked up what sounded like intelligent modulation, whispers of structured transmission coming from the moon itself. NASA never confirmed those accounts. But they never denied them either. And now, with Dr. Mura's presentation, that silence had taken on an entirely new weight. For decades, scientists treated the moon as a relic, a cold, geological fossil orbiting our world. But what if it's something else? What if it was placed there, not formed, positioned with deliberate precision? Dr. Mura presented gravitational simulations showing how impossibly perfect the moon's orbit is. Its distance, its size, its synchronous rotation, all aligned to stabilize Earth's axis, tides, and climate. Without it, chaos would reign. Seasons would collapse. Oceans would rage. Life, as we know it, might never have evolved. That kind of perfection is not just rare. It's improbable. Too improbable. Could it be that the moon is not simply a companion to Earth, but a mechanism? A regulator maintaining balance across millennia? A safeguard installed long before recorded history? The idea sounds impossible, until you realize that much of our understanding of the moon has been built on fragments, on missing data, and on assumptions we've never truly tested. Dr. Mura's final words were barely above a whisper. If it is a system, he said, then it may still be operational. The room didn't erupt in debate or disbelief. It simply went silent. Because everyone there, scientists, engineers, historians, knew what that implied. If even a fragment of what he presented was true, then humanity has been living under the gaze of something ancient, something designed. It raises unsettling questions. Who built it? Why did they leave it here? And what is it waiting for? Perhaps the moon isn't watching us in the way we imagine. Perhaps it's recording. Perhaps it's listening. A silent observer orbiting our world, collecting data across epochs, waiting for the right conditions, or the right moment, to awaken again. When Dr. Mura left the stage, no one clapped. No one moved. It was as if the entire auditorium had been suspended in the same gravity that binds the moon to the Earth. Outside, the moon hung low over the horizon, pale, perfect, unblinking. It had watched the birth of our civilizations, the rise and fall of empires, the ignition of rockets, and now, our first glimpses beneath its surface. For the first time, humanity wasn't just looking at the moon. We were beginning to see into it. And maybe, just maybe, it was looking back. Because if the moon truly holds a secret, a machine, a memory, or a mind, then it's been keeping that secret longer than we've been able to ask the question. And as Dr. Mura warned in his closing words, be careful what you awaken, because it may remember who put it there.